I have not sat down and recorded in such a long time. It's hot. There's this bird making a lot of noise. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well, and if you're new, welcome to my channel. So in today's video, I really want to do a sit down kind of chit chat video with you guys about a topic that I get asked all the time, which is how do you afford to travel? Like, how are you always abroad somewhere else but London, and how do you make money? Are you working out there? Like, what are you actually doing? So I thought, why not make a video on this, because it's quite clear that a lot of people just don't seem to know or don't seem to be aware of the resources that are available out there that can enable you to travel and earn money at the same time. So if traveling is something you're interested in, but making money is also something that you're not willing to let go of, then I strongly suggest that you continue to watch this video. Hey guys, so I've written them all down on my phone just to make sure I don't ramble too much. And like I said, these are 5 ways you can combine travel and sustain an income at the same time. I'm currently already doing 3 out of these 5 things, which has helped me greatly in, you know, not having to worry too much about money, where money's gonna come from. So I'm hopeful that you will at least find 1 or more of these things helpful. So let's get straight into it. So the first way is to become an au pair. Now, if you don't know what an au pair is essentially like a live-at-home nanny. That's like the best way I can think of putting it. You basically move out to another country and you live in the host family's home as basically as an extended family member. So you're like the big brother or big sister of this family's children, and the whole point of you living at home with this family is to encourage basically the language of English, to basically encourage English within the household. Your main role is to obviously look after the kids and just to basically interact with them in English for them to practice their English speaking skills. So some of your daily chores or daily activities will be waking up early, getting them prepared for school, taking them to school, picking them up from school, taking them to after school activities, and actually just doing activities with them, whether that be cooking, taking them to the park, taking them to museums, etc, etc. You're basically just like the big brother or big sister that that child has never had. Au pair is actually a great way to kind of live in a different country and experience a culture and not have to worry too much about living arrangements and extra stuff, because like I said, you'll be living in a family's home as an extended family member. So initially I actually planned on becoming an au pair. I was actually going to become an au pair. I had found my host family, I had spoken to them various times, and I had even signed a contract with them. I was all ready to fly out and live with them, and then circumstances happened and I didn't get to go. So I think I know quite a bit about the au pair world that I feel like I could share with you guys. So just quickly, I'll run through them very quickly with you guys. First of all, there was only one website that I used. There might be a lot more out there, but the website I used, I believe, was called aupaireworld.org. I can't really remember, but I'll leave it down below in the description box. It's basically a big website where you basically sign up, you create a profile, you add some pictures of yourself, describe yourself, what are your hobbies and etc. Make yourself look as desirable as possible, obviously. And it's almost like an Instagram but for au pairs, so you can search and source out families that you think might be suitable for you, and vice versa. Families can source you out and contact you, and yeah, you begin to speak on Au Pair World. My suggestions to you would be more open-minded when it comes to like the length of stay, but also be realistic. If you know you can't do 6 months in a particular country, then make sure you make that clear. Don't sign up to it if you know you can't do it. If you can only do 1 month, maybe be a bit more flexible, maybe stretch that to a month and a half. Obviously it's a deal, so you can negotiate your terms with the family. I would suggest after you've met your potential family on Au Pair World, I would suggest coming off of the website, exchanging numbers, and maybe moving on to like WhatsApp or Skype and actually engage and have a video call with this family. I think it's important for you to get to know the family as much as possible, because at the end of the day, you're leaving your home and you're going to live in essentially a stranger's house, so you want to be perfectly comfortable with the family that you've picked. And I feel like moving it onto like WhatsApp and Skype just makes it more personable. You get to like put a face to the name, you get to really engage and really feel each other's personalities and vibes, and that way you can really gauge whether this family is going to be a right fit for you. Me personally, I engaged in loads of video FaceTime calls with the family that I was going to stay with. I even like started to already create a bond with the child, so we would video call every now and then. I wanted to make sure for 100% that this was the family that I wanted to move and live with. So it's very important, if you need to spend 3 weeks to a month to even a couple more months, just communicating with this family to make sure 100% that they're right for you, then by all means do that. Another thing I would suggest is to definitely negotiate your living arrangement. So if you know you want your own room, make sure you say this to the family beforehand. Make sure they actually even have a spare room for you to live in. If that's a deal breaker for you, do not take the job. Make sure you have your terms very clear, what you will take and what you won't accept, and make sure you know, communicate that clearly to the family so that there's no miscommunications. Because obviously you spend quite a lot of time with the kids, so if your downtime is very important to you, make sure you mention that. Also discuss like your hours. How long are you going to be working in the week? How many hours will you be working during the week? Do you get your evenings off? Are you able to travel, explore, meet friends, and etc.? Does the family have a curfew for you? Some families might say, you know, this is a conservative home, I want you home by midnight. If you're like me, my age, 24, 25, having a curfew ain't really too cool, you know what I mean? So make sure this family is absolutely perfect for you. Another thing I would suggest negotiating is the pay. Now, what I will stress is that being an au pair, like I said, you're like an in-house nanny, but more so you're like an extended family member. So you will get paid, but it's not necessarily a salary, it's more pocket money. It's actually defined as pocket money on Au Pair World. You will get paid, I think the maximum a family has to pay you is £90. I can't remember whether it's per week or per month, but in Au Pair World terms, that is more than enough for you to live on as someone who is living in a house for free, doesn't have to pay rent, doesn't have to contribute to grocery, who is actually fed like a meal every single day. So part of the contractual terms is that the host family must feed you every day. Obviously, if you want to go out one night and eat out, then that's up to you. You can use your pocket money for that. So it's not a great sum of money, but it's definitely enough if you want to, you know, pick up language lessons or go out with friends, meet friends, go to the museum, do some sightseeing. So definitely bear that in mind, that being an au pair would be such a great experience. However, if your main motivation is making a lot of money, it might not work for you. So that's number one, being an au pair. Now number two is something that I'm currently doing, so I have a lot of experience in as well, which is basically becoming a TEFL teacher. Obviously, to become a TEFL teacher, if you didn't know already, you need a TEFL qualification. I'm actually going to make a whole video on, you know, getting TEFL qualified, how to do it, how much it costs, which TEFL course to enroll in, and the whole process of finding a TEFL job. If you have any questions specific to that, leave that down below. But yeah, obviously, so another way is to become a TEFL teacher, which is what I am. A TEFL teacher basically means you're a teacher, you work in a school Monday to Friday, and you teach kids English. Now, like I said, you work Monday to Friday, you work in a school, and you teach kids English. So it's like a proper job. So in this case, you actually do get a salary, a monthly salary at the end of the month. And I think this is probably one of the most popular and common ways that most travelers sustain an income. Like I said, it's guaranteed money at the end of every month, and based on your qualifications and also your experience and etc., you can honestly earn anything ranging between £700 and £3,000. Realistically, like, it literally ranges from £700 to £3,000. So it could be a really good way to sustain a healthy income, to live a comfortable lifestyle in a country that you've always wanted to live in. Now, this is where it gets a bit sticky. Like I said, it's a proper job and you work Monday to Friday. So if your main motivation is to just solely travel or to mainly travel, TEFL teaching might not be for you, because it does consume a lot of your time. You're in school Monday to Friday. You could possibly be required to work on a weekend, you know, doing grading or participating in like English camps or activities that your school might be doing. So that's definitely something to consider if you decide to become a TEFL teacher. But other than that, if teaching is your passion and you just purely want to live abroad and teach and etc., TEFL teaching is definitely a good option to give you more than a healthy income. Okay, all right. Now number 3 is also something that I'm currently doing as well in my spare time, which is similar to TEFL teaching, but this is teaching online. Now teaching online, honestly in my opinion, is the best thing or best way to basically sustain an income and to live a nomadic life. If you are on the go and you are 1 week in Singapore, the next week in Indonesia, the next week in Australia, but you want to maintain an income, online teaching is the best way. It's one of the best ways to live remotely and to basically sustain a healthy income again. All you need is a laptop with a webcam and Wi-Fi and you're good to go. And most online teaching jobs would pay you something ranging between I think $12 up until maybe $25. So online teaching is honestly a great way. Like I said, it's the best route to go if you're looking for something more flexible and you kind of want to work on your terms. You get to choose when you work, how much you work, how little you work, and where you work from. So I don't know personally if you actually need a TEFL qualification to be an online teacher. I'm not sure if it's a prerequisite. If you do your research, I'm not sure, maybe you can still be an online teacher without any specific qualifications. There's so many online teaching agencies. Literally, if you type it on Google, you will get a whole list, and if you apply, you can literally become an online teacher within a few weeks. So that is one of the best ways, I think, in my opinion, to live a nomadic lifestyle and still earn a decent amount of money. So that was tip number 3. The 4th one now isn't something I know too much about, I'm not gonna lie, because it's not really something I'm interested in, but I do know and I have heard of a lot of people who do this for a living and who earn a pretty decent amount of money, and it's called drop shipping. So drop shipping, from what I know, is someone who is kind of a drop shipper, is kind of someone who is kind of like the middleman or the buffer between, for example, an eBay vendor and the consumer. I don't know exactly what they do. I'm not sure whether they buy in bulk from the vendor and then sell off to the consumer and then give a cut to the vendor, or if they take orders for the vendor and then get a cut from the vendor. I really don't know how dropshipping works because I'm not too interested in it, but I know it's definitely a way to also live a nomadic lifestyle and earn a decent amount of money. If you're interested in it, there's so many YouTube videos on dropshipping and how to become a dropshipper and all the ins and outs and the analytics to all of that. So I would suggest you research that. Again, like I said, it's a great way to work remotely and kind of like live a nomadic lifestyle. So that's tip number 4. Now the 5th one, the last one, is something I currently do as well. However, at the moment, it's not necessarily giving me income, but I'm doing it because I'm passionate about it and I really like doing it. So the 5th way is to become a content creator. So you can literally create content on your YouTube channel, your Instagram, your blog, whatever, anything that's, you know, based around your travels or even like beauty related, anything that's your niche. If you are a content creator and you earn an income from that, that is a great way to kind of live again remotely and earn money through sponsorships, by working with brands, through collaborations, YouTube, etc. Becoming a content creator is very lucrative. It's a very lucrative source of income. I don't know if that makes sense. But what I'm trying to say is that there's a lot of really successful content creators out there who are earning loads of money, which allows them to live in one place 1 week and then move to another place the next week and still be financially comfortable. So if you have a niche in a particular market within the digital world, I would definitely suggest, you know, maybe considering becoming a content creator. It could be a great source of income for you. Those are the main ways that I know of that you can travel and make money at the same time. Of course, there are so many other ways you can make money and travel at the same time, but these are just 5 that I thought are very popular right now. If there's any more that you know of, leave it down below. Let's, you know, have an open dialogue and, you know, talk about some of these things, you know. And yeah, I hope I've covered everything. Yeah, So anyway, it's a beautiful day today. It is a Sunday the 18th of November. It's my birthday soon, and I'm living and I'm loving life in Thailand right now. So I hope you can also pick up your bags one day, move abroad and earn an income and live and love life the way I am. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, don't forget to comment, and please subscribe to your girl. Like I said, I'm trying to be a content creator out here. I'm trying to make those coins. Okay. So yes guys, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys again in my next video. Bye.